Hey guys, what's going on? Thanks for joining me for another game development stream. Looks like my audio levels are adequate. Let's just switch over to the monitor focus. Right, so yeah, it's been a few days. I've been busy with some work that's been related to the business side of things, but I have been working on the game development too. I just haven't been really putting streams available or making those work sessions available to you guys. But I'll show you what we got here. I know that the stream is titled the vending machines or whatever, but real quick, this asset here is, well, we're quickly, this is a proxy, but we're updating some of the geometry in the city. But for the character exchange, let me just pick up these items. So, real quick to demonstrate, we also improved the item menu a bit more user-friendly, more in line with how ergonomic the menus are in Monster Hunter, which I was looking at as a guide. But you can see here we got 5 items in our inventory across those 2 different pages. And if we talk to our NPC character here, and if we switch over, we have that full control character. The visual state has been updated to reflect those new canteens. And if we go over here, yep, the items are transferred back. And that works in keeping with the level transitions as well. There was a conflict at one point where I was giving me some issues, and it was because uh, the transition was conflicting with some of the data for level traveling and how inventory was being passed between levels. But once I isolated the problem, it wasn't too bad. And if we switch back, yep, working as intended. It's beautiful. You may notice that water canteen is missing. That is by design. It's not an error. We have elected to transfer and not transfer certain items between characters depending who you're using. But that is that. Something else I noticed. I don't like how it's off center here, so I'm gonna pull this back at some point. These buildings. That way we can kind of make this more in line with everything else that's down this central uh, path. Anyways, let's open up our. Let's get out of the city level, and I'm going to head over into the development room. Just save those actors. You know what? I actually want to delete this. Don't need that material there, or this texture. Okay, anyhow, I can save those assets now. Okay, here we are, and we're going to create an actor for this water vending machine here. And it'll be functional just like these are. Right now this is just a static mesh, I believe. Yeah. Let me just slide this guy over and move my player start here. One thing we're also going to have to do is give this asset further functionality depending who's using it. Specifically for Maya, she'll be the one who makes use of these water machines more than Vance. But they still have to be functional. Okay, so the water machine checked out. Let's grab this one as a base. Should be fine. This is our soda machine. And, oh man, I have to delete these assets. Let's see here. Hmm, that should be better. You don't want to delete the wrong assets. Perfect. Let's force delete that shit. Um, need to figure out how to remove those from the source control. Basically, those are older versions of our city actors, and we don't need them anymore. But every time I sync to the source control, they get added back in. Okay, so where are we here? Let's grab our vending machine. I want to create a duplicate of it. And a duplicate should work. Call this water machine. Should be fine. I'll open up this actor here and move it over so you guys can see. And I'll move my reference off screen. Let's see here. Maybe I won't even need it. Time will tell. So grabbing our water machine, let's place it into the scene. Right now it is still that same duplicate. Also, this asset isn't, from an art perspective, it's not textured or well unwrapped for that matter. That's okay. We're just making it functional. The art can come later. I can apply some materials and textures to it relatively easily. Except for some iconography that might have to be unique, it should be a pretty simple asset to texture. Okay, so inside our water machine, we have our viewport. The first thing we should do is change the mesh. So let's grab that water machine. Perfect. There it is. It has 4 elements for some reason. Yeah, from our perspective, it is still proxy. Compile's okay. Let's go to construction script and the parent, or here we just call it the parent construction, which should be fine. Let's see here. We have the start interaction. This is where the magic happens. We have chapter start, drinking, and not enough cash. We're not going to need the not enough cash because this isn't going to be... Water's free. I don't believe you charge people for water. Should be a basic human right, if you know what I'm saying. HP recovery. Let's see here. Launch questions. So it actually won't need to be as complex as this even. But the first thing we're going to do is probably branch. I think I have to branch right after the actor phase. If I think about it, I'm trying to think about it as logically as possible. And I think we can just grab our get our character reference and get the active character. And what we want to do is check if this is equal to Vance. Let's create some comments. Checks if active character is Vance. And then we'll have this path coming up here. I'll write duplicate off screen there. Basically, we're gonna have a dialog box show up, And populate some simple dialogue here. It's a machine for refilling water bottles. I guess I should say canteens. That might be more appropriate. Yeah, if you don't feel thirsty right now, that is fine. I think from here we can actually call it. Probably just end our interaction from this point. Shouldn't need anything else for Vance's dialogue tree. Let's just make sure that works. And it looks like I deleted something I need. Let's bring that up here. And toggle this to last. Cool. Yeah, this is working as intended. Now let's do the opposite if you're playing as Maya. Um, so you know what, we can switch on that enumeration. That's a little bit cleaner, I think. Okay, let's bring this one back down. It should provide a good starting point, I think. And we'll have a question that shows up, and we can replace the existing macro here. Do you want to refill your water supply? That should be good. It's gonna launch a question basically, which will call this event here yes or no, and based on that input, yeah, we're checking some affordances here. Basically, don't need to do that. A transaction where we play in animation. We'll keep this for now. Right now it's populated with nothing, but we can update those with sound effects. I actually just picked up a pack of sound effects, which I should take a look through. Let's see here. This sets the chapter 2 drinking, not enough cash. Well, not drinking anything. We shouldn't have a need for those two. Select no. Chapter refill. Chapter 1 and 2. Right here we have choice 0. Choice 0 is yes, but choice 1 is no. Okay, that will work. Looks good. Move this over, tidy it up a little bit. Now we have our chapter 1 and 2. We'll still be passing through here to chapter 1 and 2. Chapter 3 is just simply an end interaction, which wouldn't really be necessary anymore. We can remove that execution pin. So from here we have yes or no, or sorry, refill and no. I'm just gonna make these consistent for myself. Alright, chapter 1 is refill, 2 is no. That is correct. You inserted your water paintings. We can have that. We can make this asset a little dynamic, actually. It might be pretty cool for that extra touch, that extra bit of polish, rather. We don't need this dialogue here. So right here is what we can adjust. So cast to Project Grand Vault Maya, and we're going to get player character. We can convert this to a pure cast. We know it's going to work because we can't even reach this dialogue unless she's in play. So we'll convert this to a pure cast. And what we'll do is grab a function, I think it's called water point refill or regen. Now let me just double click on this, verify this is the right function. Begin water point regen, delay, regen to max. Yep, that should work. And I'll pass that through right here. Can probably color code this to blue. Make it a little thematic, very obvious. You feel refreshed. I want to pass that through like this, and I'll have to verify this. You don't have enough malite. That is fine. This should actually execute right here. I don't think we need to have a switch there. Okay, let's try this out. Where's our error? That should work. Okay. Okay, so for advance, works as intended. Perfect. Let's switch to Maya and verify that this other script is working. Character in play, let's set that to Maya. And come back here, compile, looking good. Okay, so this isn't working as intended. I think it's because I changed the way this works when we're working on our NPC character. Let's take a look at the question box setup. Let's take a look at actors. Yeah, there is a little bit of, well, more than a little bit of change. I'm going to pull this out for reference off to the side here. Now on the game instance, or sorry, back on the actor here, I'm going to go find the parent, because that is what we're calling this function on. And we're going to have to check this out. Let's see here. Question box setup. Right, so you can see the issue here. We have that function passing through, two choices, but there's some data that needs to be filled in here. Number of questions is set by default to 0. What we're going to have to do here is actually pass this through. And for my own sanity, I'm going to pass them like so. And just give these proper names, choice underscore 2. This choice underscore 3. Okay. Back on our actor here, we have the updated function, which should be much more effective now. We should specify 2 questions, and we just want choice 0 and 1. Then those can stay the same. Let's try that again. See if that fixes our problem. Working good. Let's hit no. Beautiful. You feel refreshed. Okay, so it's working fairly well. There are a few things we do have to add for complexity, so I've jumped the gun a little bit because we don't need to check for if they can afford it, but we do have to check if the player has canteens. Because if not, then that interaction should not play out the same way. So let's head over to our vending machine reference. I'm actually going to cheat a little bit and copy that code back in here that we deleted. So from here, what we want to do here is grab canteen quantity. And we actually want to check if we have more than 0 instead of, any sort of monetary check. Fits in the comment box? Perfect. So that's true. We can go out of the transaction. If it's false, we might have to have another chapter we come to. Got a little bit too ahead of myself on that one. Let's call this no canteens. Actually, hold on a second. We don't have to check anything down there. We should make that check right up here. Excuse me. Ugh, hope I'm not getting sick. Okay, basically if we're playing as Maya, we check immediately. Do we have any canteens? And if we do, we pass through here. And if we don't, we can you know what? I was thinking about this a little bit more. Let's call this can't refill. Or, sorry. Can't refill. So I'm going to switch these up. Keep these as is. Yeah, this is canned refill, and I believe that has to work like that. False, we should route right into here. We have no use for this right now. Okay, so let's verify that the canned refill works and the refill action does play out. Yeah, from there that should work just fine. And interaction, label that out so it's easy to read. That's funny. Okay. Compile, and we're just gonna grab a water canteen actor, inventory pickup rather. Let's drop that out there. And let's make sure both of those work. Uh-oh. Did I break something? What's going on here? Oh, right. We don't ever create the dialogue from here. Interesting. Perhaps we should do a check here. Yeah, checks if player has greater than 0 water canteens. If true, we get that question. If false, we will just execute this. And if you have no use for that right now, I think we can gesture out like that. Perhaps should be fine, right? Let's cheat that a little bit. machine for refilling. Whoa! I broke something. You have no use for this right now. Probably because I can't route this up through here. Let's hop in here, page +1. I want to muck around in here, actually. So this to chapter 3. Set chapter to 3. And should terminate out. Oh, don't want to pick that up. It kind of works. Actually, it definitely doesn't work. If I skip it, we won't get to set the chapter. Well, we can just use some flow control. Let's just make some space. And basically from here we can, well, ideally want to route out, but what we can do here is set up a gate. And only play that if we execute from here. One, interesting. Actually, no, I'm overcomplicating it. What we should do is just branch through here. And if this is false, that'll work much better. I dislike having these wires like that, but I think in some cases you really can't help it with blueprints. Alright. Cool. Just spamming my buttons here to make sure it didn't break. Perfect. Let's go back in here, grab a water canteen, and we can see it here. It's empty now. Do you want to refill your water supply? If I hit no, cool. Yes. You feel refreshed. That's funny. And now it's refilled. Cool. That text for you feel refreshed is pretty funny. What I was thinking of doing here, so it works, fully functional, no textures, but to take this to sort of the next level, what I was thinking of doing was, oh, hey, Julio, sorry I missed your comment. Let me just close my other windows here so that comment box stays in view. Excuse me. Right, so one thing I'm doing was actually, during this period here, where we actually, you inserted your water canteens, what we could do here is perhaps get these. So for instance, get water canteen 1, set visibility, and then just set that to false. So it kind of disappears, right? And then you could, on the second string here, vending machine sound effects. What you'd want here is probably play 2D, play sound 2D. I think I have some water fountain. It's a stream, and they're all loops, so we can't have it play indefinitely. What we'll have to do is actually create sound 2D, and then grab that water fountain. Splashy, probably. Let's grab this and preview it real quick. So it's coming from my speakers for some reason. It's weird. All I can think of is peeing. Grab this one. And I think, to me, it sounds the least like a toilet. We're gonna set this sound effect there. And I'll basically play for that duration. You know what I'm talking about, Julio? Sounds a little funny. Yeah, I'm trying to get a fountain sound effect. Maybe we should just use an energy sound effect. That might be the best course of action. We'll leave it for now, I guess. You feel refreshed. Let's see here. And basically from here we play stop. But we don't call it here, we call it kind of like this, and then we would reset the visibility on our canteens. Set that to new. And then we can, this has to happen here. Canteens are refilled. So let's see how those work. Is this idea viable? Whoops. Well, it definitely worked. My canteens disappeared. Didn't get my cool sound effect though. Oh, of course we didn't get it. Because we created, but we never played it. Not automatically. So, we play it like so. Now that should work. start time. It's fine. Okay, so if I skip my dialogue, it's not very viable here. I think let's use a sequence. That should prevent error. That way, no matter what we output. Yeah, I don't love that sound. Adjust volume, 0.25. Volume duration. What does that mean? This is better. This is a little tricky. Let me take a look at how the vending machine is set up. I wonder if we could output. You know what? Not gonna do that. I think with a little finagling, it can be figured out, but I think right now it's more trouble than it's worth for me. It is a what I would call a nice to have feature. Let's just make sure this is working properly. I wonder if I'm wrong. Wonder if I'm wrong about that. Zero. Let's see here. Hmm. That's why. I set this to 0 for now. That's why that lag is there. Okay, so now it just doesn't work. But yes, your canteens are refilled. Strangely, yeah, we need to. Okay, I'll test it again, but if I'm constantly skipping my dialogue. Sweet. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. That's great. I think that's all for this actor. Should begin to kind of unwrap it or something. I can close that here, move this over. Oh, geez. Okay. A gang of assets to check out because I updated the macro. And some that are just stupid. And by stupid, I mean those assets that are kind of stuck in the source control that I no longer use, to figure out how to clean that up properly. Okay, well, on that note, um, I think that wraps up the vending machine, the city vending machines, all three. So I think the creation of all three has now been exposed. So I think I'll wrap up the stream for today. A little bit of a short one, but we figured out what we wanted to. Or sorry, we demonstrated what I wanted to showcase on this stream. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll be streaming again tomorrow, and I hope you enjoyed uh, this episode, I guess, and hopefully you guys are able to use some of these, blueprinting instructions and logics that I've been using to make your own assets for your own projects. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, you can. Oh, I'm so bad at these exits. Gosh.